So I was on Twitter scrolling away and this graphic came across my timeline and my jaw just kind of dropped because the lineup for Team Dominican Republic going into this 2023 World Baseball Classic is absolutely insane. Everyone is pretty much crowning them as the favorite, but not so fast. I feel like Team USA is getting slept on. So we're going to compare both teams. We're going to go position by position, see who has the edge going into the World Baseball Classic. And also, if you guys want me to go to that, leave a like and subscribe because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And to be honest with you, those vlogs would be nuts. Now, one thing I do want to mention, Fernando Tatis Jr. has been banned from participating in the WBC. And honestly, if he was in this lineup, they would be my pick. Team USA, yeah, they're cool, but nah, I would choose Team DR. I just want to put that out there. So right now, it looks like Jeremy Pena is going to be the replacement for Tatis at shortstop, but we'll talk about shortstop in just a second. We're going to go ahead and talk about catchers first because I'm not going to lie to you, JT Realmuto versus Gary Sanchez is like a 5th grader versus Justin Verlander in a dodgeball competition. I mean, Gary used to be pretty good, but you can't compare these guys. JT, the best catcher in baseball. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are Adley Rutschman fans, but I'm still going JT. It's not a comparison. 1 point to Team USA. We have a heavyweight matchup. Paul Goldschmidt, the 2022 MVP versus Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who actually just had a very productive season, even though he kind of dipped from his 2021 campaign. He won a Gold Glove at first base. He still had a 132 OPS plus, which is really good. It's just when you compare it to Paul Goldschmidt, who is quite literally a Hall of Famer in the making. He had a 7.8 WAR with 35 home runs while hitting .317. He had a .404 on base percentage on top of being a 4-time Gold Glover. I'm sorry, Team DR fans. I got to give it to Goldie. So 2 points to Team USA. So this round isn't very fair because Jeff McNeil is a true second baseman, whereas his opponent, J-Ram, one of my favorite players in baseball, if not my favorite player. You guys know I'm a Guardians fan. It's not fair because he was moved off of the hot corner. We'll talk about third base right after this. But Jose Ramirez versus Jeff McNeil. I will give some credit to Jeff. Maybe the best contact hitter in baseball if we're not talking about Luis Ariz. I mean, Luis hit .316. Jeff McNeil hit .326. So I'm going to give Jeff the crown. He had a 140 OPS plus, really good defense. He's a super utility guy. But if you're going to compare him to Jose Ramirez, I'm sorry, Team DR is picking up their first point. I gotta go J-Ram at second. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I put myself in situations where I have to choose between Nolan Arenado and Manny Machado? The problem with this is they have holes that the other guy fills.
This is really what
Manny Machado, in my opinion, is better offensively, whereas Nolan Arenado clearly is better defensively, but that's not really saying much because Nolan Arenado is still really good offensively. Manny Machado is still really good defensively. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and plead the fifth. I'm going to make this video a little bit more compelling because this is going to come down to the finish line. I'm going to give this a tie. Nolan Arenado versus Manny Machado. Yeah, I'm giving that a tie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So like I mentioned, Jeremy Pena is going to be taking the place of Fernando Tatis Jr., and that's according to a lot of people. I still probably would have gone with Wander Franco, but for the sake of continuity, I'm going to leave it with Jeremy Pena. He is going up against Trey Turner. Trey Turner obviously had a better season because he had 21 home runs, 27 stolen bases, a nearly .345 on base percentage, and a 121 OPS plus. So we know that he can pretty much do anything Jeremy can aside from play Gold Glove defense. Jeremy Pena is an absolute wizard at shortstop. He's a World Series MVP. He's an ALCS MVP. I know that Jeremy has a very bright future, but for right now, if I'm going player versus player, I still have to go with Trey Turner. So if you guys are keeping up, USA is winning 3-1 right now, and of course there is that tie. Now we have Kyle Tucker, who is very underrated, and Juan Soto. As much as I love Juan Soto, I can't choose. Obviously, I am going with Juan Soto. I know the Astros fans are probably going to hate me because I didn't choose Jeremy Pena. I didn't choose Kyle Tucker, although defensively, Kyle Tucker can run laps around Juan Soto. We know that Juan Soto actually had a down 2022 campaign. He still had 27 home runs, a .401 on base percentage, and a 149 OPS plus. So Kyle Tucker is vastly better defensively, but Juan Soto is vastly superior in the batter's box. And because he's playing left field, at least that's my opinion. We'll talk about right fielders in a second. I do have to go with Juan Soto just because his offense, that bat, and that lineup is devastating. So 1 point to Team DR, they're catching up. I think they might be catching up even more because J-Rod is one of the most electrifying young players we have ever seen. He's going up against Never mind. I know that J-Rod is a superstar defender who just won Rookie of the Year. He had a 28 home run, 25 stolen base season with the 147 OPS plus. Those are cartoon numbers for a guy who was 21 years old at the time. But Mike Trout, let me just go ahead and say this sentence, prepare for what I'm about to say. He had a higher WAR and more home runs than J-Rod, even though he missed 40 plus games. 43 to be exact. That is stupid. Just to kind of put it into perspective how good Mike Trout has been for his career, Paul Goldschmidt broke out with an insane 180 OPS plus. Mike Trout for his career has a 176 OPS plus. He has been prime Goldie with better speed since 2012. So as much as I love J-Rod, I gotta give another point to Team USA, but I feel like Team DR is going to have a comeback. Just wait for it. Now, I don't think that comeback starts here because Starling Marte versus Mookie Betts, it's not very fair. We're talking about a potential first ballot Hall of Famer in the making, someone that just had 35 home runs and a 136 OPS plus. I love Mookie Betts. He's a 6-time Gold Glover. Starling Marte, he's a 2-time Gold Glover. He had 16 home runs and a 132 OPS plus. Really good numbers, but I mean, let's be fair. Mookie Betts, Starling Marte, we know who's the winner. Pete Alonso versus Rafael Devers. I feel like some people are going to take offense to who I'm going to choose. I am not going with the polar bear. I'm not going with Pete Alonso, even though he is a power threat, a home run threat every single time he steps up. One thing I want to put into perspective, Rafael Devers had a 141 OPS plus, so that was not as good as Pete Alonso. But I just want to say this, Rafael Devers had a 141 OPS plus, even though in the second half of 2022, check this out guys, in the second half, he hit 249 with a 713 OPS and a 103 OPS plus, so it absolutely tanked, and even then some. He was just barely beat out by Pete Alonso. He's got the doubles, he's got the average, he's got the on base. I really think that Pete Alonso is a generational offensive player. The power is there, obviously. I mean, he takes the home run derby more serious than I take YouTube. But yeah, I'm going with Rafael Devers for the best DH. Again, that could be disrespectful. Maybe Mets fans are going to be mad that I did not go with Jeff McNeil and Pete Alonso, but I think every baseball fan should probably agree with these picks. All right, so now we have to talk about some pitchers, and to be honest with you guys, it's not very close. These are the Team USA confirmed starting pitchers, and these are the Team DR confirmed starting pitchers. Yeah, by a landslide. I love Nestor, I love Clayton Kershaw, but yeah, Team DR wipes the floor with those guys. And then the same story goes for the bullpen. They absolutely wiped the floor talking about Team DR. So at this point right now, yeah, we have a tie. So it comes down to this, bench versus bench. Now again, these are confirmed players, so I don't know if Aaron Judge is gonna step in the next few weeks. I don't know if another guy for Team DR is gonna pop in and be able to play. So for right now, we're only talking about confirmed players. And for me, again, it is tied neck and neck. Whoever wins this next category is going to be my favorite going into the 2023 World Baseball Classic, and I just think that Team USA has the slight edge. And when I say edge, I mean by a proton, or what, a quark, whatever the smallest thing is, a quark. I think that's it. By that much. I think Team DR is absolutely insane. And again, I want to put a caveat on this video. If Fernando Tatis Jr. was playing shortstop instead of Jeremy Pena, I'm not trying to poo-poo Jeremy Pena, but Fernando Tatis Jr., he wins that, even over Trey Turner. I think that Nando is better than Trey Turner. So Team DR would have won if Nando didn't get ringworm. So let me know your thoughts. That does it for today's video. If you click this button next to my head, you guys can subscribe, and also the video below that, YouTube wants you to watch it. So go ahead, subscribe. Watch that video.